Have you ever noticed that the louder someone argues, the less convincing they actually sound? Think about it. When was the last time an online debate truly changed your mind? Exactly. Words rarely win wars, but actions? Actions can silence an entire room, shift power instantly, and etch your dominance into people's memory without you saying a single word. And trust me, once you master this law, you'll stop wasting energy on debates and start controlling outcomes in ways that leave your rivals speechless. Here's the truth. Arguments don't change minds, they harden them. When you argue, you trigger ego, pride, and defensiveness. Even if you're right, the other person feels wronged. And in power games, feelings outweigh facts. Psychologists call this the backfire effect. When people are presented with opposing evidence, they often double down on their original belief. That's why powerful people avoid verbal battles. Instead, they demonstrate their point through undeniable action. Let me give you an example you've probably never heard. In the 1980s, Sony and Sharp were rivals in Japan's electronics war. A heated board meeting took place where Sharp's executives mocked Sony's new product line, saying it would never sell. Instead of firing back with words, Sony's CEO, Akio Morita, did something legendary. He simply invited Sharp's executives for a factory visit. When they walked through Sony's production line, they saw millions of units being pre-ordered worldwide. Retailers were lining up, orders were stacking, and workers were in full swing. Sony didn't argue its value. It showed proof. That silence, that undeniable evidence, crushed Sharp's mocking words instantly. No debate could match the power of that action. Imagine being so effective, your rivals walk out speechless. You might think this law only applies to politics or business, but let's look at sports. In 1997, during an NBA playoff game, Reggie Miller faced off against the New York Knicks. The Knicks players trash-talked non-stop, trying to throw him off. But Miller didn't waste breath arguing. He let his shots do the talking. In just 9 seconds, he scored 8 points, silencing Madison Square Garden and humiliating his rivals in front of millions. That's Law 9 in raw form. Don't argue, dominate with results. Actions don't just prove your point. They humiliate doubters more than words ever could. Why does this law work so powerfully? Because humans trust what they see, not what they hear. The brain processes visual proof 60,000 times faster than words. That's why influencers flex luxury cars. Why companies showcase customer results instead of arguing market stats. Why great leaders deliver victories, not speeches. Words invite debate. Actions shut it down. Every time you resist the urge to argue and prove yourself through results, you gain psychological dominance. Here's a modern story. A young entrepreneur pitched his app idea to investors. They laughed him out of the room. Impossible, no market, waste of time. Instead of arguing, he went quiet. He built it anyway. 6 months later, his app hit 1 million downloads. The same investors came crawling back, begging to buy in. That entrepreneur? Brian Chesky, co-founder of Airbnb. He didn't argue with rejection. He let his success make the noise. Silence your critics, not with words, but with undeniable reality. So, how do you use Law 9? Don't debate, demonstrate. Instead of telling people you're disciplined, show it by consistently producing results. Let silence work. When you don't respond to attacks, you make the attacker look desperate, while you look composed. Act with finality. Deliver results that end all doubt. One undeniable move beats 100 clever arguments. Remember, people can argue against your words, but they can't argue against reality. Law 9 is about one thing. Stop wasting power in arguments. Channel it into actions that speak so loudly no one can deny you. If you found this powerful, wait until you see the other laws. Because mastering just one law is dangerous, but mastering all 48, that makes you unstoppable. Click the playlist on your screen now to watch the next law. Don't just know power.